The first lie wasn't spoken. It was written. A simple appointment
The
reminder
first lie
flashed
wasn't
across
spoken.
my wife's phone
It was
while we
written.
were eating Sunday
A simple
roast.
appointment reminder
Reminder,
flashed across
Dr.
my
Daniel
wife's
Harper.
phone while we were eating
Tuesday,
Sunday
3:30
roast.
p.m.
Reminder,
Nothing unusual
Dr.
about
Daniel
that.
Harper.
Dr.
Tuesday,
Harper had been our
3:30
family
p.m.
GP for
Nothing
nearly 8
unusual
years.
about that.
He'd looked
Dr.
after our
Harper
children
had been our
through
family
countless ear
GP for
infections,
nearly 8 years.
reassured us during
He'd looked
COVID,
after our
and
children
even
through
helped my
countless
father
ear
before he
infections,
passed away.
reassured us
I
during
trusted
COVID,
him.
and even
Completely.
helped my father
My
before
name
he
is Oliver
passed away.
Bennett. I'm
I
41,
trusted him.
from Manchester.
Completely.
And
My
until
name is
last
Oliver
autumn,
Bennett.
I
I'm
believed
41,
loyalty still meant
from Manchester.
something.
And
My
until
wife,
last
Emma,
autumn,
had been
I believed
complaining
loyalty
of
still
migraines
meant
for
something.
months.
My
She
wife,
seemed
Emma,
distant,
had been
tired,
complaining of migraines
always
for
saying
months.
she had another
She
appointment.
seemed distant,
Dr. Harper
tired,
wanted to monitor
always
her
saying
condition.
she had another
I
appointment.
never questioned it.
Dr. Harper
Why would
wanted
I?
to monitor
He was
her
our
condition.
doctor. The
I
man
never
we'd
questioned
trusted
it.
with our family's
Why would
health.
I? He was
Then
our
the odd
doctor.
things began.
The man
Emma
we trusted
suddenly
with our
cared about how
family's
she
health.
looked before every
Then the odd
appointment.
things began.
New perfume.
Emma suddenly cared
Fresh
about
hair.
how she looked
Designer
before
dress.
every appointment.
You're dressing up
New
for
perfume.
the GP.
Fresh hair.
I joked one
Designer
morning.
dress.
She laughed.
You're dressing up
You
for
never
the
know
GP.
who you'll bump into.
I joked one
It
morning.
sounded harmless.
She laughed.
Now I
You
hear
never
that
know who
sentence
you'll bump
differently.
into.
One
It
evening,
sounded
I
harmless.
picked up the post.
Now I hear that
Among the
sentence
bills was
differently.
an envelope from
One
a
evening,
private hotel
I picked
in
up the
Cheshire.
post.
Not
Among the
addressed to
bills
Emma.
was an envelope
Addressed
from a
to
private hotel
Dr.
in
Daniel
Cheshire.
Harper.
Not addressed
Except
to
somehow
Emma.
it had been delivered
Addressed
to
to
our address.
Dr. Daniel
Inside
Harper.
was a receipt.
Except somehow it had been
guests.
delivered to our
Executive
address.
suite.
Inside
Paid
was
in
a
cash.
receipt.
I
2
convinced
guests.
myself there
Executive
had to be an
suite.
explanation.
Paid in
Wrong
cash.
address.
I convinced
Administrative
myself
error.
there had to be an
Anything.
explanation.
Anything
Wrong
except
address.
the truth.
Administrative
Then came the
error.
phone call.
Anything.
I was repairing
Anything
a boiler
except
in
the truth.
Stockport when Emma
Then
rang.
came the phone call.
I've got another urgent
I was repairing a
appointment with
boiler
Dr.
in
Harper.
Stockport when Emma rang.
She sounded nervous.
I've got another urgent
nervous.
appointment with Dr.
Something
Harper.
inside me shifted.
She sounded
For
nervous.
the first time in
Too
our
nervous.
14-year marriage.
Something inside
I
me
followed
shifted.
her. She
For the
didn't
first
drive
time in our
toward the surgery.
14-year marriage,
She drove in
I
the
followed
opposite
her.
direction.
She didn't
To a
drive
small
toward the
private
surgery.
medical building
She
on the
drove in the
outskirts of
opposite
town.
direction.
No patient.
To a small private medical
reception
building
desk.
on the
Just
outskirts
staff
of town.
parking.
No
I
patients.
watched Dr. Harper
No
arrive
reception
10 minutes
desk.
later.
Just
He
staff
wasn't
parking.
carrying a medical
I
bag.
watched Dr.
He was
Harper
carrying
arrive 10
flowers.
minutes later.
Flowers.
He wasn't
For my
carrying a
wife.
medical bag.
I still didn't
He was
move.
carrying flowers.
I wanted another
Flowers.
explanation.
For my wife.
Instead,
I
they
still didn't
embraced.
move.
Not
I
like
wanted
doctor and
another
patient.
explanation.
Like lovers
Instead,
who'd missed each other.
they embraced.
My stomach
Not like
turned.
doctor and patient.
I should have walked away.
Like lovers who'd missed
Instead,
each
I
other.
walked inside.
My stomach
The
turned.
receptionist looked
I should have
confused.
walked away.
Can I help?
Instead, I walked inside.
I'm here to see my
The
wife.
receptionist looked
There
confused.
isn't a patient.
Can I help you?
I ignored her.
I'm here to see
I
my
heard
wife.
laughter behind one
There
of
isn't
the
a patient.
consultation room doors.
I ignored her.
Emma's laugh.
I heard laughter
knew that
behind
laugh
one of the
better than my own
consultation room
heartbeat.
doors.
I opened
Emma's
the door.
laugh.
Neither
I knew
of them
that laugh
expected
better
me.
than my own
Emma
heartbeat.
froze.
I opened
Dr.
the door.
Harper stepped backwards.
Neither of them
so quickly
expected
he
me.
knocked over a tray
Emma
of medical
froze.
instruments.
Dr. Harper stepped
Silence.
backwards so quickly he
Complete
knocked
silence.
over a tray of
I
medical
looked at him
instruments.
first. You've been
Silence.
treating my children.
Complete silence.
No answer.
I looked at him
Then
first.
I looked at Emma.
You've been
How
treating
long?
my children.
Her face
No
emptied
answer.
of color.
Then I looked
Oliver.
at Emma.
How long?
long?
8
Her
months.
face emptied of color.
8
Oliver.
months.
How
Every
long?
migraine.
8 months.
Every appointment.
8
Every late
months.
evening.
Every
Every
migraine.
excuse.
Every
A lie.
appointment.
Dr. Harper
Every late
finally
evening.
spoke.
Every
We were
excuse.
going to tell you.
A lie.
I laughed.
Dr. Harper
Actually
finally
laughed.
spoke. We were going to tell
you.
you.
Were going to keep
I
lying
laughed.
until you got caught.
Actually laughed.
Then I noticed
No.
something on his desk.
You were going to keep
Our
lying
family
until you
medical
got
records.
caught. Then I
Open.
noticed something
Emma
on his
had
desk.
access to information
Our family
that should
medical
never have left
records.
confidential
Open.
files.
Emma
That was
had
the
access
moment
to
everything
information that
changed.
should never have
This
left
wasn't only an
confidential
affair.
files. That was the
Professional
moment
boundaries
everything
had been
changed.
shattered.
This
I
wasn't
quietly
only an
took
affair.
photographs.
Professional
Every
boundaries
page.
had been shattered.
Every document.
I quietly took
Neither of them
photographs.
stopped me.
Every
Perhaps
page.
they finally
Every
realized
document.
how serious this
Neither
had
of them
become.
stopped me.
I walked out
Perhaps they
without
finally
shouting,
realized how
without
serious
threatening,
this had become.
without violence.
I walked out without
That
shouting.
frightened Emma more than
without
anything.
threatening.
3 days
without
later, my
violence.
solicitor filed
That
for
frightened
divorce.
Emma more than anything.
The following week, I
3 days
submitted a
later, my
formal
solicitor
complaint to
filed
the
for
medical
divorce.
regulator.
The following
The
week, I
investigation
submitted a
lasted
formal
months.
complaint to the
Messages
medical
were
regulator.
recovered.
The
Appointments
investigation
had been
lasted
falsified.
months.
Medical
Messages
notes
were
altered
recovered.
to create reasons
Appointments
for
had been
unnecessary
falsified.
visits. Medical
Eventually,
notes altered to
the
create
evidence spoke
reasons
louder
for
than either of them
unnecessary
ever
visits.
Dr.
Eventually,
Harper lost his
the evidence
license to
spoke
practice
louder than
medicine.
either of them ever
Emma
could.
lost the marriage
Dr.
she'd
Harper
thrown
lost
away.
his license
The
to
hardest
practice medicine.
conversation wasn't
Emma
with
lost the
lawyers.
marriage she'd thrown
It was
away.
with our children.
The hardest
I never
conversation
poisoned
wasn't
them
with
against
lawyers.
their mother.
It was with our
Children
children.
deserve honesty,
I never
not
poisoned them
revenge.
against their mother.
Today,
Children
2 years
deserve
later,
honesty.
life is quiet.
Not revenge.
Not perfect.
Today,
but
2 years
peaceful.
later, life is
Sometimes
quiet.
people ask if I
Not
regret
perfect,
trusting our family
but peaceful.
doctor. No,
Sometimes people
trust
ask if I
wasn't my
regret
mistake.
trusting our family
Betrayal
doctor.
was theirs.
No,
And if there's
trust
one
wasn't
thing I've
my
learned,
mistake. The
Betrayal
people
was
closest
theirs.
to you can break
And if
your
there's
heart.
one thing I've learned,
But they don't get to
the
decide
people
how your
closest to
story
you can
ends.
break your heart.
They only decide
But they
how
don't
they
get to
leave it.
decide how your story ends. They only decide how they leave it.